Good evening. I trust you can all hear me. Get that turned off. You can all see me as well. Oh wow. I didn't set up the focus on the camera. Come on then. Let's sort out the focus on the camera. That's not how you do that. Where are we? Camera. Come on, camera. Where are you, camera? Is it that? Yeah, let's go with that. Yep, configure. Yep. Okay. Camera control, focus. Much better. Well, marginally better. Stream Elements bot is running. I did not request this. What is this thing? Okay. Cool. Evening, guys. Welcome to another midweek hobby workshop thing. Hump Day hobby workshop. Tonight I'm going to be working on. God, now I get this under the light. These leaves look terrible. This is, mind you, I did these very, very early on since coming back into the hobby. But I'm going to do that Bernie magma type sword. Yeah, these guys could do with redoing. I mean, they're not too bad from a good distance away, but you have to be a good distance away with your eyes closed, I think. Yeah, they're alright. So I've got another one of them here, because the infantry section I've painted up already. They're already painted. This is a, what are they called? Juggernaut Rider. So I'm going to paint his sword, and first things first with that, I'm going to need to get a good coat of white on there. So where did I put the white? Right, let's get some Gracia down first, and then we'll go over it with a nice bright white. Ew. Is that number one? No, don't use up number one. Number two, there we are. If anyone's got any bright ideas as to how to keep your paints moist, I'm all ears. Because I'm sure this has been said before, I swear the Games Workshop pot design is designed to dry out the paints.
Weekly appreciation, Tim. Waving hand.
Thank you, Mick. He's a good lad, that Mick. Despite what people say. He didn't know that. Oh dear. Yeah, he is a good lad. Good lad. Organising his Paul Fest 3 thing at the weekend. That was really good fun. We all met up in Belper at tabletop events, and there was much Warhammer of both flavours. Oh my word, this paint is terrible. Let's get a bit of water in there. Might make a little bit difference. Just going to need a couple of 2 thin coats. Duncan Rhodes spinning in his grave. I hope he's not spinning his grave. Last I checked he was still alive. It was indeed a good laugh having us all together. At least for a while. As you say. I had a very good game of 40k with Moldis, who may or may not be watching the channel. And after that, I had an absolutely fantastic game of Age of Sigmar, bringing my Lumineth out for the very first time. And that was a really good game. Really good game. They play really well. If anyone's looking for an Age of Sigmar army to get into, they are a lot of fun. And simple. Simple to play. I like simple to play. I'm a simple creature. Leave that to dry for a second. More than a second, it'll probably take quite a while to dry. So let's fill in a little bit of the detail, which are going to be a slightly different colour, like the dung. Base coat for this miniature is just a black primer with a zenithal of Monument Hobbies red ink over the top. This stuff, transparent red. It says holding it up to the camera so you can actually read it. It's going to need a bit more picking out. I mean, you can use any red you want, but I kind of like it. It's got loads of pigment to it, and it gives it a nice sort of. So I can't remember how I painted this one, but it wasn't like that. So I'm making it up as I go along again. Nearly out of primer, the black primer, so I've been forced to use the scale 75 stuff, which isn't great as primers go. As unfortunate it is for me to say, they are not brilliant. They rub off very easily. Very easily. I mean, you can see it's already starting to rub off, and I'm not even sort of. This is just from me picking it up. See again on the knuckles. It's just, yeah. What I normally use is this stuff, and if you leave that to cure properly, you'll get a good solid coating that isn't proper way. Right, how are we going on? Okay, probably ready for a second coat. So we're not going to use that for our second coat. We're going to reach for there we are, that'll do. Army Painter's matte white, which is one of the better whites on the market. Because we want that white proper bright. Right, you're going to have to bear with me a little bit tonight because I think I'm coming down with something. I've got the whole sort of vaguely achy feelings coming on. It's not good. I don't want to say the C word. But having just spent a weekend in a gaming venue with nurglings from around the country, you never know. Right, you really do want to take this up to pure white for this, because you want it as bright a white as possible. To start the process. Right, I'm going to be asking a question in a moment. I will need an answer. And the question will be, and this is the moment, do we want the brightest part of the sword to be on the outside of the blade or the inside of the blade? So the inside of the blade will look like that, with a sort of encrusted magma build-up on the outside. Or should we go the other way? Inside, so the same as I've already done. Yes? Okie dokie. I mean, if I was feeling properly flash, I could do one style on one side on the style on the other. But the point of the technique is you can reverse it, and it's very easy. So the painter's fighting me a little bit here, I'm afraid. It's not coming out very smooth. But I mean, that almost doesn't matter for the effect we're going for. So we'll press on in a minute. How's everyone else been doing tonight? All good? Mick, I noticed you've got a load more Necromunda scenery. You've got a problem, dude. Just gonna say that now. You've got a problem. You're gonna need a bigger house. Waiting for that to dry. Let's just get a bit more colour on that. Got bigger houses in Nottingham, you know. You could move to Nottingham. That's exactly what you could do. Right, this is Rhinox High going on the horns. Setting up a board for a game with you tonight, tomorrow night. Okay. Bit of solo Necromunda there. I didn't even spot a spam bot there. So it's getting there with the white. So let's get started on the flaming effect. Put that brush aside. Oh, pop it there. Right, where are we? I need. I can't see it. There we are. There we are. Scions, eh? Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Alright, this is Cassandora Yellow. Put a little bit down there. And we're going to get a little bit of, what's that? Is that Lamia? That's contrast medium. Don't want that. And some Lamia medium out there onto the palette. Just thin down that ink a little bit more. And we're just going to trace it around the edge of the. You did want it in the middle, don't you? The bright point in the middle. Final calls. Yes. Right. We're just going to drag that round the outside of the blade. Don't need to be particularly neat here because we'll be going over the center stripe in white again at the end. We just needed the white. In fact, it works better if you are a little bit not neat with it. Just dab it on there. It adds to the flaming effect. I mean, I could do hazard stripes, but I ain't gonna. That's just not a thing that's happening. See what I'm doing? I'm sort of filling in the outside of the blade. With ink. And while we're waiting for that, whilst it's still a little bit on the wet side, we're going to get some pure aluminium medium and just blend it in. So that's just going straight over the top of the white, and it just blends everything together. It thins out that edge. And whilst that is still wet, we reach for the friggin' orange. And again, from the edge, just dab it in like that. You're not trying to create clean lines here really, just dab it in. Because what that'll do is that'll create kind of a flaming effect on the inside and just break up that. See what it's doing? Maybe I need some of the darkish black. Ah! Ha ha ha! Gaffer tape. I'm just going to knock that paint over if I'm not careful. And I am frequently not careful. Gaffer tape, is there anything it cannot do? There we are. So it's sort of creating that jagged sense of flaming texture. There's a light side and a dark side, and it binds the galaxy together. On the other side, keep dabbing it in there. I'm using inks, but you could absolutely use thin down paints. game here is just leaving that little bit of yellow in between the white and the orange. So you see, there's nothing difficult about this particularly. It just takes a little bit of time. And you'll notice I'm not reaching for the contrast paints either. Cut in every now and again. Still looking a bit washed out, hasn't it? You just fiddle at the camera. That's a little bit better. I turned off low light comp. It always seems to turn on low light comp, and I don't want it to, because it just washes everything out. Right. So you can just about make out, possibly, maybe not. There's a thin line of yellow in between the orange and the white there, and on the other side. So I'm just going to grab a bit of medium again. Just blend that in. Oops. That wasn't medium, that was ink. Isn't it refreshing to watch these things live? Because you know all these pro painters, they make mistakes like that, but you never see them because everything's pre-recorded. With me, I don't mind. I'll let you see those things. I'll let you know that I'm human. So that's just medium going down again. I'm just going to go over that even more towards the edge with a bit more Fuegan orange, which will lay down another layer of paint on top and deepen the colour, which is what we want, because we want that to tend towards red. Again, you don't even need to be particularly neat because it just adds to the flaming effect. Sort of jabbing inwards with the paintbrush, laying it down flat the brush first and then just sort of stabbing inwards to get that sort of flaming effect. There we go, certainly getting there. Yeah. And now we are going to reach for a little bit of red paint. Just dab a bit of that out on there. Yep. And then what you reach for is, and I'm sure everyone's got this, some Go Faster Red from the late 1980s. What? Hasn't everyone got this? Ugh. Mix that with the ink. I mean, I'd say you could use Mephiston Red or something like that for this, but I mean, you just compare the colours, you really can't. That's just, look, it's just, they're different. This is just, perfect red. But if you haven't got Go Faster Red from the 1980s, you could use Mephiston Red, I suppose. We're just repeating the process here. We're just jabbing in from the edge, leaving more of the orange, just deepening the colour towards the edge of the blade. So I'm using the Go Faster Red because it's October. You see, it all plays together. It all does. It's on theme. I don't like painting orcs, but oh my word, look at that. It's just, that primer is just terrible. Don't use it. Just don't. So after all this, I'm going to have to go over it again and paint it all again. Yay. So I thinned that down with a bit of the Fuegan orange. So it's a little bit thinner than normal. But the 1980s paints were thinner anyway. So you don't have to thin it too much. Side. I mean, you could just leave it at that. You absolutely could. That looks perfectly red and flaming. But we're not going to leave it there. I'm just going to blend that in with a bit of Casandora yellow. Just over the outside, just going to blend it all in. And this is the essence of the technique. You're just back and forth with the inks and the paints, just blending and bringing things together. And I've not done anything particularly complicated. Just dabbing paint on with a 0 brush, but you could use a 1. The key parts of the technique are that first layer of white, and to not go over it with anything, just to leave it white. And we're probably going to end up putting another layer of white over the top of it, just to really make it pop. But what I'm doing here, just off camera, as always, is just blending things together with ink. So the technique looks a lot more complicated than it is. I urge everyone to try it, and you'll find out that it really isn't. It really isn't that complicated. What if I just drop there? Something, I don't know. Right. Now, like I say, you could absolutely just leave it like that, and I think it looks quite cool actually. But to get that crusted magma effect, you just reach for a darker paint. It really is that simple. So I'm going for Rhinox Hide. And just along the outside of the blade, just as we were before, just a little bit of moisture in there, just on the very edge, just dabbing in again. If you get the odd spot here and there, it doesn't matter. That adds to the effect. bulk of the effect comes from the dabbing in and out with the brush. Just using the tip to jab in like that, and create little flamey effects. Again, thin your paints a little bit. You just side of the brush, just wet blending in and out. Don't need a solid colour. In fact, it looks better if it's not a solid colour. And that has the effect of making that centre even brighter. Just go down the edge. To work on my setup a little bit so I can actually work at a comfortable angle, so I'm not constantly taking things off camera to paint them. So you can see with that extra layer of dark around the edge there, that's just a lot brighter than the white centre in the middle there, and yet it's the same colour. The next, a bit of black. And you just want the tiniest little bits of this dotted here and there. To get the outward edge sold in. This sort of effect will look really nice on the Eldar Avatar's sword, Doomed at Wales. Especially if you've gone for that kind of magma theme on the model himself. And there we go. And that's what that side looked like if you leave it. How cool is that? Right. Oh, let's finish off the rest of the model, shall we? Because that didn't take very long. I told you it was a simple scheme. What did I say? I said it was a simple scheme? Easy scheme? Yeah? Didn't believe me, did you? No. Just gonna leave that side as is, so you got the contrast the different styles there. We are going to get our corn red out. One of our dry brushes. Because what better to go on a corn demon than so I did do an airbrush then, I thought, but just showing that you can do this with a dry brush, and it is very effective. Bit more. I've got notes of green on the underside of this guy. I don't know where they came from. Piston red. Even lighter over the top. And the all-important 1980s Go Faster red. How's the scenery coming along, Mick? Everyone's very quiet today. Very quiet. Either I'm doing something wrong or everyone's really engrossed in doing other things. And I was lying about not being able to get this stuff. You can get a very close colour. And that very close colour is pure red from Army Painter. It will do the job. You're bored. Oh, right. Oh, right. Board reset. Okay. Yeah, right. I'm with you. You're not bored. You are resetting the board. Right. Oh, night off. That's where it starts. You're busy painting, Jamie. Good stuff. What are you painting? Oh, scions and stuff. Very nice. You know what? We're going to go straight in with the gold. Oh god, getting some hook on the end of my... Don't like getting hook on the end of the brushes. This stuff's quite good for sorting your brushes out. Attributor armor. That's what I use for my gold. At least the first pass. And on the other side. You know, it's typical. The whole reason I'm doing this this flame-themed blade is to help out, or to give inspiration to Bella Blue Bramble. Who is not watching, as far as I can tell. So they can watch afterwards. Hit be right. Bit of contrast going on there as well. That's nice. Yeah. It's looking the part, isn't it? No, I don't think she is. You know what? That's fine. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. I'm not upset. I'm not angry. You know. Not disappointed. I'm a little bit disappointed, but you know, I'm not angry. You do these things for people, and then you know. I'm totally kidding. Bella's corn demons look really good actually. She's managed to work an awful lot of contrast in there. They really do pop. So if you're on Instagram, check her out. Bella Blue Bramble. If you're not already following her, why not? There's another, he's got another bracer. Good man, good man. She's come a long way, has our Chris. A long way from not really wanting to talk to anyone at the first Paul Fest to posting stuff on Instagram. It's really good to see. Right, now, for the first time ever, I'm going to reach for a contrast, I think, if I can find it. I'm thinking, it's not out on the table, it'll be in my box of paints. But that'll do at a pinch if I can't find it. There it is. Oh, Croxical Scales. Such a good colour. Love it, love it, love it. blue tongue because, you know, why not? Right. Now I'm going to try and pick out those teeth. A bit of use for that. Palette witch flash, yeah, why not? Oops. Too much paint on the brush. Mornfang brown on the go. Just get the start work on the horns. Number 2 brush out. We're not going for a thick coat, we're just going to brush over the top, almost as if we're dry brushing. Brush is nearly dead. I have to get into this brush soap in a bit. That's that out of the way. Get the palette witch flash out again. Oh, actually no. Let's see if we can find some. What's that? That's Corax white. That's useless. Horrible, horrible paint. Corax white, really badly formulated, just clumpy and gross. What I'm looking for is Wraithbone. Should be out somewhere, I've used it recently. Maybe it's not. Get a fresh pot out. It'll be somewhere. I'll find it, but I need some Wraithbone here and now. Fresh Wraithbone. That's for the lumps as well. Just going to dab of water in there. Yeah, I think that Wraithbone needs a bit more of a shake-up. That looks dreadful. It'll do though. Name of the game when you're painting with a table is contrast. I'm just going to hit that up with some actual contrast paint now, I think at this point. I think, seeing as my head's beginning to go a little bit wibbly, I might have to call it an early one. Unfortunately, sorry folks. I blame whoever it was that gave me the plague at the weekend. Probably that Mick. Because that's what he's like. Reach for, where is it? Where? See, I can't find anything. There it is. Okay, so a bit of water to that. A bit more water. Shade in just under there, bring that down a bit, blend it in a bit, use your fingers. Good enough for the table, I think. Don't you guys? We happy with that? Oh, I know what I haven't put on. I haven't put it on because I can't find it. Where is it? That's it. Brown sauce. Old Formula Seraphim Sepia, Old Formula Agrax Earthshade, Lamia Medium, and a touch of Drakenhof Nightshade. And we're just going to touch that in to get a little bit of contrast between. Even though this will be wholly unrealistic because it'll be glowing and this will all be bright, but we just want to try and get a bit of definition in between the blade and the hilt. So we're just going to splash that on there. Also going to run a little bit down the edge of that blade just to blend things in a little bit more. It will bring out the brightness of the white even more. Just a tiny little bit down the edge. There we go. Bernie sword. Cool. Quite like that. That's come out really well. I like that. Just as a very finishing touch, what we're going to do is we're going to grab a little bit of the white, which I have put somewhere. There it is. Just need a tiny little bit of that. I'm just going to get some very thin brush. This is a 0, I think. 0, yep. And we're just going to get it all over our fingers so we can rub it all over the miniature. And we're just going to, just down the very centre of the blade, just spot that in. And just really push that white. That brightness. Spot on. Not so sure about the rest of the miniature. I've been rubbing all kinds of paint everywhere on that, but yeah. Cornbread. Let's just get over that. Somehow got a bit of gold on his knee there. Don't like that. Get rid of that. Doesn't look good on his knees. Nobody needs gold knees. There we are. Not my best work, but in my defence, I'm not feeling my best at the minute. I think that'll do for the table. What do you reckon, guys? Yeah? You reckon you could reproduce that? There's homework this time. Homework is to pick a sword, do this kind of effect, and post it on my Discord. If any of you folks who aren't already on my Discord, I do have a Discord, and there is a link to it in the channel description. You are all very welcome. It's quiet at the moment, but you know, more people, it might be less quiet. Whew. Right, okay, yeah, I think I'm going to call it there and probably go to bed, because that's how I'm feeling. Illness. Right, see you later, folks. Thanks for tuning in. If you're not already subscribed, you know what to do. Ta-ta for now.